everyone, good morning, good afternoon, and very good evening to you. Welcome up on the tube. Hope you're feeling grand and all is well in your world. Hello there, everybody. Welcome to another Q&A Wednesday, everybody. So, let's dive in straight away, shall we? Question 1 today, everybody. So, question 1 today is, do you like any of the guitar music from Resident Evil... Great start, Dave. I can do English. Anyway, do you like any of the guitar music from the Resident Evil series of games or any music found in any other games? I do like some of the songs. I prefer, Resident Evil wise, I prefer more of the atmospheric stuff. Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, they've all got this awesome atmospheric music. The first game's music, Resident Evil 1, the atmospheric music, like stuff like main hall music and like, you know, the music when you get to like the guardhouse and stuff like that, I find it's just like iconic music. To me, you know, for that kind of genre of game, that music became like a kind of a staple. But then Silent Hill came along and just went the next step up, if you will. So my favourite game music of all time is Silent Hill 2. Akira Yamaoka, who did the music for that game, is just beyond excelling in that game. The music for Silent Hill 2 is unreal. Like you get songs like a song called Promise that goes. Let's coil tap that and get rid of some again. Stuff like that, which is just gorgeous. And then also you get the main theme to Silent Hill, which kind of goes. It's ace. You get some really awesome kind of like chords. I mean, the way that song Promise that I played at the intro ends is so cool. It just goes like this. Really unresolved chord. I mean, it's a proper rock chord, because you can do that. So, but yeah, and then you also get really atmospheric stuff in Silent Hill. Stuff like... piano piece, but he plays on guitar gorgeously. So for me, my favourite computer game music is Silent Hill 2. Stuff like that is just gorgeous. And you get all those kind of weird dissonant notes. I remember playing Silent Hill for the first time, the first game, Silent Hill. And the music on that just terrified me. More so than Resident Evil did. Like Resident Evil, when I first played Resident Evil, it was scary. Especially kind of like when you get the zombie groans over like really high string kind of parts. Used to terrify me. But then Silent Hill came along and it terrified me even more. The music in that is so horrific. Especially the really percussive, aggressive noise, like really industrial noise sounds that they'd have. It's just like horrible, but awesome at the same time. They create such an atmosphere, and Akira Yamaoka is like the absolute... He's such a genius at creating such an amazing atmosphere that suits exactly what's going on at that point in time. It's just unreal. I mean, like I say, the main themes, and I say Silent Hill 3 has got an amazing theme as well. Like, there's a lot of reverb on that. Yeah, just dead simple, but really, really awesome. There's a lot of songs that I love from Silent Hill. like I said, there is a lot of songs I love from Resident Evil 2 as well. The slap bass guitar crazy end music to Resident Evil 2 is brilliant. Like the game ends and you see Leon, who's like my favourite character of all time, like turn around and say, "It's our job to take on Umbrella," and you get this kind of like, a slap bass guitar thing coming in, and then you get this guitar solo. So it's like, yeah, so cool. But yeah, my favourite game music of all time is from Silent Hill 2. It's just stunning. Silent Hill The Room has got gorgeous music as well. Medal of Honor Frontline had some gorgeous music as well. Like really gorgeous orchestral music. I think it was done by there's a really famous composer who did music to Medal of Honor Frontline, but I can't remember who it is, but that's got some gorgeous music in it. Trying to think of any other games. Metal Gear Solid, you know, Harry Gregson Williams, is that his name? I can't remember his name. Harry Gregson something, I forget his last name. He did the music for the Metal Gear Solid games, apart from the first one, which I don't think he did. But even the first one has got some gorgeous music in it, you know. Music that really fits to what's going on when it comes on, so to say, and the atmospheric stuff is really cool as well. The music for Psycho Mantis in the first Metal Gear Solid game is gorgeous. It's so dissonant, yet so... It's got this beautiful flow to it. It's amazing. But yeah, my favourite music of all time for a computer game is Silent Hill 2. It's just, there's just something about it, especially that song. It's just gorgeous. The guitar's a bit out of tune, but sorry. That's okay. But yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any others. I don't think there is. But yeah, I do like some of the music in Resident Evil. But like I say, I like the atmospheric music to Resident Evil more. You did put in your email a link to the end credit song for Resident Evil, and I think it's really cool. It's like really kind of like, it brings back a lot of memories of like, yes, I completed the game. It makes you feel really happy because of that. It's got that kind of like thing associated with it, so it makes you feel good. Much in the same way the ranking music on Resident Evil 2, when that comes up, it's like a piano kind of piece, and it just makes you feel good. Anyway, Resident Evil 3's got some great music. Resident Evil 4's got some great music. Resident Evil 5, meh. Any others? Yeah, I mean, there's tons of games with really good music, but I'll say out of the kind of like survival horror series, Silent Hill 2 is my pinnacle, so to say. The music in Silent Hill 2 is just genius. It really is. It's above and beyond anything, in my opinion. I mean, well, it is. It's up here and everything else is kind of here. It's not a million miles away from everything else, but the Silent Hill 2 music is absolutely unreal. It's just gorgeous. The melodicness, and then the horrible dissonance stuff, and the horrible scary noises. Gorgeous. And the sad music in Silent Hill 2 is really sad. It really is. I mean, it hits every note. Everything in that soundtrack means something. It's absolutely amazing. Anyway, so yes. But yeah, that's the music I like. I obviously love Resident Evil games. They're my favourites next to Silent Hill and Metal Gear Solid and stuff like that. I can't get off Resident Evil 2 Remake. Literally can't stop playing it. I've done all the scenarios and all the other kind of like bonus features, but I'm still playing it. I still love it to bits. Capcom nailed that. Absolutely nailed it. And apparently there's rumour that Resident Evil 3 Remake is coming out. Yes, please. Thank you very much. Anyway, moving along. But yeah, music from Silent Hill 2 is my favourite. Okay, going to move on to question 2 now. I hope it's answered your question. Move on to question 2. Question 2 is, would you consider doing a video on how you refinish your guitars? Stuff like my Jaguar and stuff like that. Not really, because in all fairness, there's people out there doing videos on YouTube about refinishing guitars that do it better than I do. In all fairness, I'm not the best person to show you how to refinish a guitar, because in all fairness, I can do it, but I'm not the best at it. You know what I mean? Like my refinishes are okay, but they're not like professionally done. You know, they're not brilliant. You know what I mean? Like they do the job, but they're not amazing. If that makes any sense. Like, you know, there's a few I've done that are really are good, but They're not amazing. So, not really, no. There's a lot of videos out there showing you how to do that kind of thing better than I can show it. So, not really, no. I mean, it's not really something I would be interested in doing, just because I'm not particularly great at it, to be honest with you. Like, I can do it, but it's by the skin of my teeth. I've got no technique. You know, there's people out there with better technique who can show you how to do things better than me. So yeah, sorry. I don't like saying stuff like that, but you know, I'd rather not embarrass myself by pretending I know what I'm doing when I'm refinishing a guitar. Give me 1 sec. Sorry, everyone. Oh, that's better. Okay, so yeah, not something I really kind of consider doing, I'm afraid. Sorry, it's not really. I don't like doing that. Okay. Anyway, move on to question 3 now, everybody. Question 3. What? Okay. What do you think I'm going to say to this, everybody? People of the tube, what do you think I'm going to answer this question with? What combo would you recommend for under 500 something? You didn't give me the currency. I don't know where you are. What combo would you recommend for under 500 something that'll give me a good Red Hot Chili Peppers Blood Sugar Sex Magic Tone? I don't know, really. It's hard to think. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that one for a sec. I don't know. Yeah, I get the impression something's trying to tell me something at this point in time. I don't know what it is. Cause I'm being stupid. Boss Katana. The Boss Katana 100. Boss Katana 50 or Boss Katana 100. That's it. Happy days. Set it to the clean mode. Put a compressor on it. Away you go. Seriously, Boss Katana. Who didn't think I was going to say that? It's just one of the most amazing things in the world. It really is. It's just absolutely stunning. I absolutely love it to bits. The Boss Katana 100 and the 50 are just stunning amps. They really are. Although I do wish I could get into the Boss Katana 50. I can't because my computer is so outdated it can't upload the Tone Studio. And I don't really like doing that kind of thing. I like to plug in and play. But I'd like to get into a Boss Katana 50 and turn the presence off. Because I can hear the presence is still on. Because I don't use the treble, but I can still hear the internal presence is on. Because on the 100 you got a presence dial. On the 50 it's actually inbuilt and set. It's like a preset. And I can hear it and I want it gone. But I can't, which is annoying. But I've got to find someone with a good computer who can just can just upload it and just can I just do this quick? Anyway. Yes, Boss Katana 100. You know, it really is an amazing thing. Failing that, there is the Fender Champion 50, which gets a really good Blood Sugar Sex Magic Tone on the second channel. If you go to the clean with compressor, you get a really good Blood Sugar Sex Magic Tone out of the Fender Champion. So either way, really. But I would recommend the Katana. The Champion is good and awesome, but it's not as good as the Katana. The Katana rules the day. As far as those kind of amps go. So yeah, Boss Katana 100 or 50. You can afford, with a budget like that, you can afford to buy both. Which is a bit crazy to think about, isn't it? But yeah, Boss Katana, that's what I would recommend for that kind of thing. Okay. Need to get a drink again, everybody. Dry throat today. Okay. So, moving on, question 4. I hope that's answered the question. Question 4 today is... Which of the new Marshall Studio amps is best for a John Frusciante Tone? Would it be the Studio Classic, which is a JCM 800, small one, a Studio Vintage, which is like a Plexi, the Mini Jubilee, the Orange AD30? It'd be a toss-up between the Plexi and the Mini Jubilee, but I haven't tried the Mini Plexi. I haven't tried the Studio Plexi. I have tried the Mini Jubilee, though, and that does do the John thing. So, if it was up to me, I would recommend the Jubilee over the Plexi. Although the Plexi would do it as well, maybe. I really want to try the new Plexi because it looks ace. And I really like the idea of a shrunken Plexi that's I think it's 20 watts, but you could actually turn up, in the confines of and not get killed by a big 100-watt monster plexi, which are just like, you know, shocking as hell. I would love to try. I'd love to try the Origin series as well. The Origin series and the new Studio series plexi, I would love to try. I can't. They're way out of my budget, and I can't. You know, I don't know anybody who owns one or anything like that, so I can't just go out and buy one, sadly. But I would like to try them at some point, so I might have to go to a guitar shop somewhere at some point and just see if they've got one. And can I just have a go on this for a couple of years? Anyway. But yeah, I would say the Mini Silver Jubilee would be the best way to go myself, because these things just have John imprinted in them. In even the reissues, I'm going to miss this one when it goes. Never quite thought I'd say that about a Valve amplifier, to be perfectly honest with you. But I've got to say, this is my favourite Valve amp I've ever played through in my life. Even more so than the 68 Super Bass I used to play through at Old Hat. The Jubilee is my favourite Valve head. If I was ever to buy a Valve head, which is very rare and probably never happen, because I've got this and I've got this and I've got that and I've got that and I've got these, and I'm not, as much as I love it, I'm not interested in owning it, if that makes any sense. But I am. I love it, you know what I mean? But if I was to ever own a Valve amplifier, it'd be one of these. It'd be amazing. Because they're just amazing. These Jubilees are absolutely stunning. They really are. I can see why people like Slash use them and have gone back to them. I can see why John Frusciante used them, and many people use these things. They're just amazing. They're just a hot roddy plexi. Even more so, I would say, than a JCM 800. I would say I prefer these over a JCM 800 any day of the week. The 800s are okay, but from a plexi fan, this is the best thing in the world to a plexi. Because you can turn it, you can get the gain out of it that gives you the same kind of sound as a crank plexi at a decent volume without killing yourself, which is mega. So yeah, Jubilee, the Mini Jubilee is where I would go with that one, definitely, if you want like the John Frusciante sound. You also asked what speakers would be best. You said, would it be the G12 T75s, Vintage 30s, or Greenback? You want the 75s. That's what I would, because John used the JCM 900 cabs and they were just stock. So just the 75s will give you the best tone, and also they're just cleaner. They just sound better. They're warmer. Amps behave better through them because they've got a higher wattage, and I just think they're the best thing kind of pick up, the best speaker in the world myself. But that's what I'd recommend. The Mini Jubilee and something with G12 75s like a JSM 900 cab, you'd be away. You're in John heaven, tone heaven there. So yeah, that's what I would recommend. Failing that, the plexi. Because I can imagine that it would do a John-esque kind of thing, but you would have to wind it up quite loud because you need the compression, which with the Jubilee you can simulate that compression at low volumes by using the lead channel. On a plexi you can't do that. You know, you have to wind it all the way up for it to compress the way you want it to. Well, not wind it all the way up, but quite a lot of the way up for it to do what you want. Anyway, so yeah. Hope I answered your question. Mini Jubilee, JCM 900 cab, or something with G12 75s in it, you'd be away. Okay, so moving on to question 5 now. Second to last question of the day. Yeah, question 5. I'm going to put a plectrum down because I'm stabbing myself in the finger and it hurts. Question 5 is, what do you think about the Rat distortion pedal, and do you prefer the Marshall Guv'nor over it? Yes, I do prefer the Marshall Guv'nor over it. The Marshall Guv'nor is my favourite distortion pedal of all time because it sounds like that. I mean, what is not to love about that? I mean, seriously? But yeah, the Marshall Guv'nor pedal is my favourite distortion pedal of all time because of that. The Rat pedal, I have tried it. I never got on with it. It was good, but I never liked it. I always found it too fizzy and aggressive, and that's to me what a Rat is. It's an aggressive distortion pedal. I mean, you can smooth it out by using the filter dial quite well, but it doesn't quite do that. It always sounds like it's a little bit harsher than that, but woollier than that. I don't know. I never really liked the Rat pedal. I never really liked it. It's a great pedal, and it's a mega iconic pedal, the Rat. But the Marshall Guv'nor is just my friend, and always has been since I first tried it. I remember first plugging into it in a guitar shop in Laos, where I live, and I just plugged it into it through a Marshall MG, and I was just like, what is that? And I bought it that day, and literally, it's never moved. You know, it was only the introduction of the Line 6 HX recently that kind of like knocked it back a bit. But in either way, it's still, the HX is gorgeous, and I love it to bits. But the Guv'nor itself, you still can't get that sound out of any other pedal. I just can't get that sound out of any other pedal. Even stuff like the Loud and Proud, which I adore. The Loud and Proud is my second favourite distortion pedal of all time. But it's still not got what the Guv'nor's got, and I don't know why. I think it's the deep dial myself, that deep dial on it. Because I have it maxed out all the time. I have no bass, and I just have the deep dial cranked to the teeth. I also have no treble on the Guv'nor. It just sounds immense. It's going to peek out the camera, but that's okay, because that's exactly what it should be doing. And it's just a nice amount of distortion where you can actually get away with doing really nice singy guitar solos with just that pedal. You can... just the right amount of gain in it, where you've still got all like the articulation and the cleanness of it on its own, but it's just got the right amount of sing and sustain, which is good. Even like single chord mode, if I go to single chord mode, that's a humbucker. So yeah, I mean, I could talk waffle on how much I love the Marshall Guv'nor all day. And I would bore you all to tears, and you'd all want to hurt me with metal sticks. But yeah, over the Rat, yeah, it's the Marshall Guv'nor. The Rat was okay, but it never really clicked with me. The Marshall Guv'nor just does something that I've never experienced in any other pedal. The closest I've got is Loud and Proud pedal, which I adore. And again, I can't stop playing for it because I love it. I was messing around with it through the CR120 last night, and I was just like, Especially both sides. I love the Loud and Proud pedal when you use the distortion side and the fuzz side and just leave them both on and just do everything from your guitar. It just sounds like this gorgeousness. It's immense. But yeah, so yeah, I prefer the Guv'nor myself. People of the Tube, which one do you prefer? Do you like the Rat distortion, or would you prefer the Marshall Guv'nor? And if not, which is your favourite distortion pedal of all time? People of the Tube, let us know in the comment section below. Okay. Okay, final question of the day, everybody. Question 6. It's gone really quick. That's gone really quick. That's felt really quick, which is kind of good actually, because my battery's nearly dead on the computer. He's a clever one, is today. If anyway, the battery's nearly dead on the camera. I didn't charge it enough this morning. That's clever, Dave. Well done. Pat yourself on the back. Well done. Hooray! He's a genius. Okay, final question of everybody. Question 6 is. I have a problem with my Fender Classic 60s Jaguar. When I bend up the high strings, it cuts out halfway through the bend. That's my phone going off. I put the action up, but it still cuts out. I did some research, and people say it's a problem with the bridge. Is there anything I can do apart from changing the action? Yeah, it's not the bridge. It's not the bridge. It's the vintage radius on the fretboard. Jaguars choke out a lot. But if you brought up the action, they shouldn't choke out. So what I would recommend is check the neck angle. You could have a back bow in your neck, which means instead of the neck curving, well, the neck either being straight or curving like that in an up bow, your neck's going that way, which in turn is bringing the strings, especially down here, lower. So no matter what you do, they're always going to be too low. So, let me get this right. I hate truss rod adjustments. I get confused. So it's back bowed, which means there's too much tension, which means you need to loosen it. you want to loosen the truss rod, like, you know, literally quarter of a turn at a time, and just keep checking. So, being a classic Jag, I'm guessing the truss rod adjustment's down here, which is a pain because you have to take the neck off. If you're not confident to do it, I would go and take it to a guitar tech to do it. But yeah, try releasing the neck. See if it's got a back bow in it, because if you brought up the action, it shouldn't really be. It still shouldn't be choking out there as much as it is. But I know what you mean. But again, vintage radiuses on Fenders, they do choke out. I mean, you know, my white Fender does it. The black Strat does it. The John Strat, which has got a vintage radius, does it. All my guitars with a vintage radius all choke out, especially on the high strings. They all go. This won't, because it's got a flat fretboard, but they all do that. You know, that kind of sound. So you can't do big bends. I don't know if my Jaguar does, because my Jaguar was a vintage modified Squire, and I think the fretboards look flatter. I don't think it's a vintage radius. I don't know. No, I can't think of. I've never experienced it choking out, but I don't really bend very hard on my Jaguar. I always feel with a Jaguar, you have to approach it more with a kid gloves kind of mode. You know, you can't attack it really hard, a Jaguar, because of it just doesn't like being attacked. The Jaguar is more of a you've got to baby the Jaguar a bit more, which is one of the reasons why I love this guitar so much, is because it's got the kind of like classic kind of 6 screw tremolo, classic tremolo. You can absolutely hammer this thing, and you don't have to worry about kind of like, you know, sending out a tune or sending the bridge wappy or sending the strings over to another saddle or anything like that. You know, you don't have to worry about it with something like this, because you don't have to worry about it at all, because it's not going to do it. Whereas with a Jag, with the original bridge, which I really love, when I figured out the original bridge, I bought a Mustang bridge for my Squire Jag, but it was on for a bit and I hated it. I just didn't like it. It felt wrong, and I didn't like how you could adjust individual strings with a Mustang bridge. So basically, like, you know, what you see is what you get with a Mustang bridge, and it kind of got on my nerves. I know you can adjust the two side poles, but it didn't feel right, the Mustang bridge. So I was like determined to get the original bridge to work, and I've got a video on that anyway. But yeah, I mean, I love the original bridge on a Jaguar. Once you figure it out, once you kind of use nail varnish and strap it in so it can't wobble backwards and forwards, steady as a rock. But like I said, either way, you have to baby a Jaguar. They're not. It's the same as a Jazzmaster. You can't just hammer them to Kingdom Come, really, without experiencing some kind of problem with the neck going like that, or the bridge, the tremolo going out bowing, or the bridge, like the strings moving across saddles. Even with like a Mustang bridge, the strings, if you hit the Jag hard enough with a Mustang bridge, you'll still get the strings popping out and going over to another saddle. Well, I found anyway. But yeah, like I say, back to the question. Tangent! I would check for neck. Make sure it's not backbowed. If it's backbowed, that could be your problem. If not, you want to get it fret leveled. I would say that if it's still choking out after the neck has a slight up bow, which I always recommend. I don't like necks perfectly straight. I think they feel like this. You know, necks in back bow feel like they're gripping on for dear life. You know, when the neck's going like that way, they're like, I can't take this. When they're perfectly straight, they're like this. And when there's a little bit of relief, they're like, you know, but that's me. You know, a lot of people will say otherwise, but for me, I always feel that guitars with a perfectly straight neck have too much tension on them. My white Strat I've had forever, has got a massive up bow in it. Point where people will say, like, you know, don't you think you should alter that? And I'm like, no, I like it. It's got a substantial up bow, but I like that. It feels better to me, and that's the way that guitar's always been. So I've never really adjusted the truss rod that much, because when I first got that guitar, I had no idea what a truss rod was or how it worked. So for years and years and years of not understanding what a truss rod did, I just left it and didn't do anything. So the neck's kind of put itself into this up bow now, which can't really be straightened out, and I don't want it straightening out because it's how the guitar feels to me. It's at home. I remember when I got it refretted, the neck got put flat again, and it felt wrong. And I loosened off the truss rod to this up bow, and all of a sudden it was back. You know, so it's weird. It's weird. Truss rod and neck angle is always a personal preference, but you never want a back bow. Back bow is bad. Up bow's good. Straight is good. Back bow bad. So yeah, check the neck. Just basically, quickly, get the guitar resting on something, or just even hold it like this, and just look down like the fretboard, and what you want to do is use the low E string as a ruler. So the low E string is perfectly straight, and then you want to look at the side of your fretboard where your fret line is, and have a look if it goes like that. If it kind of like goes like that away from the headstock, it's in back bow. So in which case you want to, loosen the truss rod, and I think I swear it's loosen it. If it's back bowed, is too much tension on the truss rod, you need to loosen it so there's more string tension than neck tension. I think that's correct, but I always get these mixed up, so bear with me. People of the tube, correct me if I'm wrong, please, because I don't want to give this guy the wrong information, but I'm pretty sure that's the way it is. If the neck's back bowed, you need to loosen the truss rod so the strings can pull the neck back straight, or a little bit of up bow, which is all good. Okay, so yeah, that's how to check it. Use the low E string as a ruler, a straight line, and just look from the nut all the way down the neck, and you will see, like, if it's like that, if it's like, curves like that from the headstock, you're an up bow. If it's straight, you'll see it's straight because it'll be like parallel to the string. And if it's in back bow, you'll see it kind of like doing that, kind of leaning towards you as you look as you look down it. It'll kind of like lean to the neck will be leaning to the right of you. Okay, so yeah, so I would check that out. And if that doesn't work and it's still choking out, you might need the frets leveling, which isn't really good enough from Fender's perspective. But this guitar is a really weird balance when I'm holding it like this. It wants to do that. See that? If I put it straight, just a weird tangent. Watch this. What's that about? Watch. That's me holding it straight. I can feel the tension in my arm holding it straight. Release it. I'm guessing it's to do with the weird offset. I've never experienced that in my life. It felt weird as I was holding it. I was like, it wants to do this. It wants to swing just to the left. It doesn't want to swing like that. It just wants to come up to the right. Up to the left. Sorry, you're right. That feels strange. Oh, that's weird. It feels like the guitar's like getting pulled by a magnet to the left. Maybe it is. No, where are you going? No, come back. Come back. I was a great mime at one point. Anyway. Yeah, right. Anyway. Moving along. Yes. Yeah, but that's what I would say. Check the truss rod if it's in a back bow. Release the truss rod if it's not in back bow and correcting that doesn't work. I would take it to a 10 gauge fret level. Yeah. That's it, everybody. Okay, yeah, so that's it, everybody. I hope I've answered your questions okay. Always a bit worried I've give bad advice. So I have the fear, which is usual for me. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this Q&A. Like I said, I hope I've answered your questions okay. And I will see you again on Friday for another vid. It's an How Many Tones vid, everybody. Can you get out of the CR120? Finally got to do another one. I'll see you on Friday for another video. Have a great morning, afternoon, and good evening. I'll see you again on Friday. Have a great one now. And yeah, see you then. How many times did I say that? Way too many. I don't know. Is it way too many? I don't know. Let me do this one more time just because it's hysterical. Magnets. I'm going to look at the screen. Right, so that's straight. That's weird. I want to tip it that way, but it keeps wanting to come back this way. Anyway, moving along. Just been weird now. Hey, let's move along now. Let's go. Where are you going, Dave? I don't know where I'm going, Dave. I don't know who I am. Ah! I do know who I am. I don't know why I even said that. Anyway, goodbye now. Bye.